So point 2 here is all about compliance. So give us an overview. I mean, we know what compliance means in accounts payable. You know, this could be audit, this could be compliance with regulatory controls they've got. But from a digital point of view, what do we mean by compliance?
We mean security. We mean, as one of the options there, control and accountability. It's not just about an audit trail and being able to see what actions have happened where, and it's not about adhering to quality standards. It's about removing things that keep people awake at night. And those the control and accountability and the control and visibility is a key element. Also, it removes risk. Risk is also compliance, and as it suggests at the bottom, a lot of the reasons why data breaches happen is down to human error, and that's not a deliberate thing. It's simply because access to information is not restricted, it's not secure, it's not defined by your business role or your requirement or the reasons why you need to access that information. Also, it can't be tracked in any real way. There's no accountability for who's done what to where and how. So it's a multiple of things that fit around removing the risk. That's what it is, which is everything from quality standards to information being given to the wrong person at the wrong time.
Yeah, and that's all about the data element as well. It's about being confident. For me, compliance is all about being confident in your data, in your processes, and in your systems, because all of those 3 things will help you pass an ISO certification, for instance, and other things like that. So it's about being confident in your data, because at the end of the day, the element at the bottom of this process is the data that you're using. And if you're sure that you've got the right data, that data is controlled and secure and only accessed by the right people, if you know that is up-to-date information as well, and it's reliable information and data, then you're already passing a lot of compliance standards.
Let's be honest, it's not the sexiest of topics, is it? Nobody gets excited about it, but it's the bare principles of everything we have to adhere to, whatever department you're in, whatever type of organization you are, whatever job role you have. It's kind of the bread and butter of how your organization needs to operate. And it's still amazing how many people take shortcuts, again, not deliberately, but simply because their time and their systems and their processes don't enable them to have the best compliance relevant to their particular process and their particular industry. What a digital approach enables you to do is tick all the compliance boxes at the box. Straight away, the moment everything is in a digital environment, the moment you can lock down who can access what, the moment you can set parameters and track the usage and the viewing and who's actioning certain information, you tick all of the compliance boxes before you start thinking about cost savings and remote working and things like that. This is bread and butter stuff that at the moment most people are having to take shortcuts if they're not fully digital.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Anthony. I think, you know, we're at the association, we teach different levels of courses, and one of the core modules we teach is around compliance and controls. And it's mainly overlooked. It's always somebody else's issue. It's somebody else's department, somebody else's responsibility. But actually, when you're looking at going digital, absolutely, it's the core, it's the bedrock of what you should be. So it's not only sort of, you know, compliance in terms of the digital aspects, it's all the manual process, it's all the other steps you've got to take to go towards digital. So whether it's quality standards, audit trails, a lot of the time in the accounts payable world, audit trails are printed and popped into, you know, folders.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah. This is where you need to start reviewing these audit trails, which is a key part of what you do, no doubt.
Exactly that, and we go back to the previous slide with proactive actions. This is another example of that. From an audit perspective, once you've got everything digital, and Michelle will correct me if I'm wrong here because she's far smarter than I from a technology perspective, it's almost a click of a button. If you want to do an audit trail of a process or a document or a set of instances that happened, being able to access that information quickly and appropriately and effectively, and share it, by the way, because let's not forget, you've got organizations external to yours coming in and going, right, show me this, show me that, show me this. And how long does that take somebody to put together, and how accurate is it? How secure is it? How safe is it? From a digital world, it's a click of a button. There you go, there's everything. Here's a full audit trail, which includes dates, times, IP addresses, specific access, specific actions. You know, you can lock things down so people can't print them, they can't email them, they can't edit them. All these things contribute to a completely compliant environment, in addition to the quality of standards that have to be adhered to anyway.
Yep, love it. And again, I think that last thing about, you know, control and accountability, that's what we're all striving for ultimately. So all the other good, great points, but control and accountability, definitely in an accounts payable world, is, you know, when we all get audited, which we do, we seem to be audited every month, let alone every year. Control and accountability is the key aspect, and actually a lot of drivers around digitizing processes or policies or procedures all come to that control and accountability. So I think it's a nice area to sort of finish there. So just a question for both of you. How easy is it for an accounts payable team to manage an audit once they become digital?
Well, an audit is it's looking at your financial information, isn't it? The financial data of an organisation, and it's about how the transactions are recorded, and whether it shows an accurate view of your business operations. So the main focus of all of that is the AP department, isn't it? So using AP automation, you know, you're storing your data, the data storage, the management, electronic invoicing, all aids the audit process, because, you know, you're storing a transaction history, so you've got instant reporting, as Anthony just said. There's no looking through heaps of paper, like a needle in a haystack kind of approach. You could even give your auditor read-only access into your system so that they can go in and look into transactions and things themselves. That could mean that the process takes hours instead of days. And it can also highlight the vulnerabilities or other areas. So, you know, vendor information, missing information, duplicates, all the things that show up that a process isn't working properly. So it's an instant audit trail the minute anything happens in a system. So it's all there and quite easy for as Anthony said, a click of a few buttons maybe.